Hey guys, welcome to our Airstream. Got a cool product to show you today. Let's step inside and check it out. I have here the Chafon, that's the company name, power supply. This is basically a giant lithium ion battery that's paired with a variety of AC and DC outlets. It's not a replacement necessarily for a good old-fashioned politically incorrect fossil fuel burning generator, but it can be a great companion to one. It's pretty lightweight. In fact, this is pretty easy for anyone to tote around a campsite, and it's got a little carry handle on top. Inside is a lithium ion battery that the company claims possesses about 346 watt hours of power. More on that in a moment. On the front of the device, you will find DC outlets and also these USB port outlets. And you've got both 1 amp and 2.1 amp outlets. So you can charge your cell phones, your tablets, and this is clean sine wave power that's safe for your portable electronic devices. You also have a battery capacity meter that's digital, which is pretty handy. So you see when you turn on the device, you got the green light here. We've activated our DC output and our battery capacity is at 100%. And just for good measure, they included an LED lamp here on the front. So you can use this as a flashlight if you need to. On the back of the device, you will find the AC outlets. And if you turn on the AC power, these are activated. You've got 3 AC outlets. You also have a port for an AC input. There's a cooling fan. There is a solar port, so you can actually use solar panels to recharge this battery. Just to cap things off, you have a place up here where you can plug in cables to jumpstart a dead car battery. Anytime that you're off the grid, and especially if you're a solar person and wanting to really minimize your use of fossil fuels, having a lithium-ion power source like this is really handy. I like to do a lot of time-lapse video, and you've seen some of those videos on our channel. Time lapses use a lot of battery power, and so having something like this that I can bring out to photography and video shoots is going to be really helpful. Now you could also use this device to run even small appliances up to about 500 watts of power. All right guys, so we're out on the road, and here's an example of when I might use this Chafon power supply. I needed to fire up my laptop and edit a video for our YouTube channel, but alas, my laptop was dead. So I plugged it into the Chafon and started juicing the battery. Of course, the laptop fired up immediately, and if you look here, you'll see that I've got kilowatt EZ. This is a basically wattage electricity meter that measures how much electricity a certain appliance might be pulling. And at the moment, with the laptop simply charging, it's pulling around 32 watts. Now, if I open up the laptop and I start working, I think it'll settle in at about 50 watts of power that's being used from the device. So what you got to do is figure out how much a specific appliance might require in terms of electricity and do a little math. Basically divide that into 350 and you'll get some sort of rough estimate of how long you can power specific appliances. This will power appliances that are rated up to around 500 watts. So it's probably not going to power a blender for very long, if at all. But for small portable fans or maybe even CPAP machines, it could come in handy. Again, you're always going to be bouncing up against that 350 watt hour limit, and when it's rated at 350 watts, that would give me about 7 hours of usage of the laptop. And then once the Chafon dies, I could use it off my laptop battery for another couple hours. At the moment, we're at a rest area on the side of the interstate. It's about 10 o'clock at night. I don't feel like going outside and cranking up the generator. Our Airstream is an older model that did not include a built-in inverter. So in this type of situation, the Chafon is a good thing to have. All right guys, so now we have a completely unfair test. I have here a Vitamix. This is the Ferrari Enzo of blenders. It requires an obscene amount of power when at maximum output. So we've hooked up our plucky little Chafon to the Vitamix, and I'm gonna kick on the AC power, and we're gonna see how it performs in basically blending a test smoothie. This is a very low calorie smoothie that consists of water and ice, okay? So I'm kicking on the Vitamix, and it's drawing about 70 watts at the lowest setting, so I'm gonna dial it up. And I'm gonna dial it up all the way up to 10. So now it's drawing about 300 watts. Chafon is still hanging in there. It says that the battery capacity is knocked down to 62. I don't think that's really accurate. We started out with 100% capacity, but I don't completely trust the little battery capacity meter. Now I'm gonna kick it up to high mode. So we're blending a smoothie now, and we just overloaded it. So we learned something here. You see the red power fault breaker has blown, and we overloaded it. But I think at max capacity this thing draws, thank you, I think at maximum capacity this Vitamix can draw up to 1500 watts. And again, the Chafon will power things that require 500 watts or less. But you could blend a smoothie using the lower power settings on a Vitamix using this little device. So I think that's pretty good. It still comes in handy for powering a lot of different appliances. Just don't expect to open your own smoothie bar with one. Now, one complaint that I might have has to do with the battery capacity display. On the back, there is kind of a little digital LED readout, and it's useful as a reference, but it is not quite as precise as you might like. So just keep that in mind. It's not perfect, but it does give you some sort of feedback with regard to how much power is left in the device. So that's it. That's a look at the Chafon power supply. Again, it's just a big lithium-ion battery paired with a lot of really useful power outlets. I love having devices like this. I mean, for me personally, I will probably keep this one under my desk. If you want to learn more about this device, there will of course be a link in the YouTube description for this video, or you can go to amazon.com/shop/longlonghoneymoon and you will find it listed there. And while we're at it, the Kilowatt EZ is a useful thing to have too, because you can always double check and see exactly how much electricity is being consumed by any given appliance. Thanks as always for tuning in, guys. Until next time, Lolo.
If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you disliked it, give it a thumbs down. Feel free to leave a comment. And of course, don't forget to subscribe.